President Obama is set to rename Alaska's Mount McKinley, North America's highest peak. It's now going to be called Denali, in deference to the native Athabascans of the region. This has angered apparently everyone in the entire state of Ohio, the birthplace of former President William McKinley, who incidentally never visited Alaska. The panel is back. Deirdre Bolton, Dave Smith, and Joe DeVito. So, DB, I will ask you.
Yeah, I have tons to say. I'm like chomping at the bit here. So, first of all, first U.S. president to actually go there. Well pointed out. Second, he just okayed drilling, right, in the Arctic, like off the coast there. So, okay, you can rename a mountain. I want to make sure my legacy for climate change stands. And Shell, go ahead, drill.
Yeah, we're not going to
There's
get out
all
of there,
sorts
baby.
of complications.
Go ahead, get it out of there, because this entourage ain't going to fuel itself up when I move back to Chicago. What? All right, so what's the real hubris here?
Well, it's interesting to think that humans, we can rename a mountain and it makes a difference. It's not like you rename a dog and it's going to be confused when you yell, McKinley,
done that?
McKinley.
So
You've had a lot of experience, I guess, calling
We
mountains.
renamed our dog Sharky.
He has no idea who you're calling.
But then finally it started answering to Sharky because it realized, oh, Sharky gets food, and then we switched it back.
He's looking around like this Sharky's got
Wait, what's going on in that house where you're renaming it?
You know, and I think the people of Alaska...
I wouldn't do that now. That's horrible.
The people of Alaska wanted this name change.
Yes.
So I think, you know, Ohio, I looked it up, Campbell Hill is your highest point.
That is their highest peak.
At 1,550 feet, so...
That's what I proposed today on Outnumbered, is rename Campbell Hill.
It's easy. Obama goes there, he waves his scepter, they throw a virgin off the top, the mountain has a new name.
Is it true you're boycotting Alaska? I hear you're very upset about that.
I go to Alaska about once a year, so I would not boycott Alaska. I do think you might be verbally abusing your dog. But I
was 7.
I think since Obama got in, and this has been well covered by Dinesh D'Souza, he has been trying to ruin the legacy of President McKinley and the fine work that he did. He won us the Spanish-American War.
That's all anyone's talking about today.
If you're living,
Spanish-American
if you live in like the Southwest, that's the reason why you're not speaking All right, fine, they're all speaking Spanish, but still, he held it down for at least 100 years. All right, you got to give him
why
that.
not rename part of the American Southwest Mount McKinley?
It does make a lot more sense
Mount
than
Whitney
putting it in Alaska.
In California?
All right, I'm in.
But I'm all for you. If the Ohioans are so upset, Deirdre.
Break, Buckeyes. We all like that candy, right? Come on.
Oh yeah, it's chocolate-covered peanut butter.
Yeah.
Or is it peanut butter-covered chocolate? Either way, it's quite good and quite a football team. Ohio, you have nothing to be upset about today, okay? The Associated Press, speaking of polls in different ways, is catching heat for referring to human rights attorney Amal Clooney as actor's wife. In a recent tweet, quote, Amal Clooney, actor's wife, representing Al Jazeera journalist accused in Egypt of ties to extremists. Now, this has angered many people who feel identifying Amal by her spouse is a throwback to the 1950s and fails to credit her impressive career. Can AP fix things by referring to George Clooney as a human rights attorney's husband? I think that is only fair. Now, isn't marrying George Clooney an accomplishment in and of itself?
I think so. A lot of women try to bring him down. She should lead with that.
But she changed her name. Like, I mean, she
she's...
wanted to stand by her own career. She does have an amazing career, but when you change your name to Clooney, you might get called actor's wife.
But did it really just say actor's wife? It didn't say actor George Clooney's wife?
Said actor's wife, which is a little late.
Yeah, that's what's offensive. Don't you make it out like I'm married to some struggling actor or something
Yeah,
like
like
that.
David Duchovny.
Yeah.
Come on now, this is Clooney, baby.
Here's the phone, David Duchovny on line 1.
The reality is, if no one would be covering the story. I mean, you could probably put together, if you knew about the subject, a top 5 list of human rights attorneys, but there's only one woman who's married to George Clooney, so that's really why they're
Or that's absolutely right now.
Yeah, give it 8 years tops.
Why is everyone so mad? They're so mad at Mount McKinley, which, by the way, Mount McKinley should just put a sash over her chest that says, call me Caitlin, and then everything would be all better. It all goes away. I think it would be fine.
A lot of people really hate, I think it's a conservative thing, I never get it, but they really hate anything anti-traditional just for the sake of it. You know, like they'll see a thing where they're like, Obama had his cufflinks off or in the Oval Office, and they're like, no, you can't do this.
Ronald Reagan would never have done that. He drank out of cufflinks. He loved them so much. Well, this morning, we had a major announcement from a judge who said that the NFL and its players union failed to reach a settlement regarding Tom Brady's 4-game suspension for his alleged role in Deflategate. A judge will now rule on the case this week. Very interesting. So Dave, I know you love football as much as I do. I actually do love football. And I don't like Tom Brady. I never have, never will. I don't even know why. But how does this fairy tale end?
Well, I know why I don't like Tom Brady, because I'm a Jets fan. And
sorry.
I know this might sound, I'm not saying this as a Jets fan. I'm just saying seriously.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady should get the death penalty, and not just because that it was. Look,
you mean like when a college
I think the
has
government
their
should come
football
in.
program suspended for a long period of time?
I know what you're going to think. This is going against my libertarian ways a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think, look, every
You want
quarterback.
the state to put a man to death for inflating football?
Quarterbacks
Like, no,
know if a
deflating
ball
ball
is
punching.
deflated. Think about the future of the country and the AFC East. Like, they win the division every year. It's just not fair.
It's not fair. They should redistribute some of those, those division
Oh my
championships.
God, I just became a socialist.
It was that quick.
Pinko.
Now you know how New Yorkers feel in Washington Square
Sanders.
Park. So let's talk a little bit about this. What happens for Brady, the team, and the league?
4-game suspension. Does it get down to 1 or 2? That's what I hear from, my plugged-in sources. So I know you're thinking he should 4 is the minimum.
I agree. I say you Ray Rice him. I say give him a 12-game suspension.
Well, I'm being
Why get
sarcastic.
I like that Ray Rice is now a verb.
They didn't get caught cheating once, by the way. They've got caught cheating like a bunch of times,
Exactly.
and they
That's
are
the
cheating.
point. That's
Just
what
stop,
people
act like you're
say.
not cheating.
Then
Have
who
any
are they caught
quarterback.
cheating against?
The Jets.
Yeah, exactly. It's very tough. So most importantly, what will the courtroom sketch look like?
Oh, that other one looked like it was someone did with their left hand. Had it like it's
Wait, I
seized
had
up
that
halfway
artist
through.
on. Can I tell you? She
Yeah?
was just like, she
Did
was
she have
so
a little too much
apologetic.
coffee that morning? She.
You know what? She's like, listen, I'm on deadline. I have to sketch a lot of people, and I'm,
so-
Incredible. He looked sullen. He looked like an alien.
It was like a cave painting.
Do you know what she
Tom
said,
Brady.
though? She said that he has very small features, and it's actually harder to draw that than somebody like Bernie Madoff.
Someone with,
or-
exactly. Madoff is, he doesn't have a Madoffian chin. We all know that.
She did
Okay?
accurately capture his Uggs in the drawing, though. The Uggs
And
were
they
very
are
clear.
so masculine. That is the most masculine endorsement in the NFL. Forget Gillette. Forget beef.
Forget those ballet
Good.
lessons.
Fluffy
All about the Uggs.
Let him be ugly in a picture for once. You know what Eli Manning's had to deal with his whole career? Like,
that's how-
you should either be an awesome quarterback or good looking.
Yeah,
you shouldn't
can't
get
be
both.
Fair.
No, you're absolutely
If
right.
it makes you feel better, his wife still out-earns him.
That
And
does a
Jimmy
little bit.
Garoppolo is hotter, the backup quarterback for the Pats. Ow, check a wow, wow. Joe, Dave, Deirdre, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kennedy.
Yes, what a way to start the week. I feel like that Red Bull and stools.